Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to your friendly neighborhood podcast. I am your host, Nahshon, and today we have the beat breaking, jaw crashing super producer himself, OKY. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you having me, Nahshon. Thank you,
Man,
man.
I appreciate you coming through
Appreciate all you guys tuning in as well.
You. Oh, okay. You know what? If you guys don't know, obviously I just said it, but OKY, producer, super producer, just be doing everything. Um, I just want to have the question answered. OKY. How did you get to that name? Like who is OKY?
It's a good question. Well, KY is actually a pun of my initials.
Okay.
So, Keenan is Sagiri. My
Oh, shit.
parents are from Central America, Belize. So, there's that. And I kind of just threw in the OK,
Yeah.
just for pun references. OKY beats, OKY music.
Ooh,
Just
okay.
a little bit of marketing.
Yeah.
Trying to be witty a little bit, and that's all it was. It's just a matter of embracing myself, actually. So.
That's fire. I
Yeah.
like that. I would have
Appreciate you.
never guessed at all.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's fire. And that kind of leads into the next question. So you picked your name to play on of your initials and everything. How did you, as a young OKY, even get into music?
Well, dancing was my first form of expression, actually.
Okay.
So that wasn't too hard, mimicking Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Little things like that. And then from there, I was introduced into crump dancing when I moved to Palmdale.
Okay.
So I did that for about 7.5 years, and it's hip hop music and more upbeat. So it wasn't hard to learn beats.
Yeah.
Like most people, I would assume, because I'm dancing, and a dancer hears music differently too.
Yeah.
Much like ourselves as musicians.
Definitely.
So it wasn't the hardest transition. It was just a matter of finding myself, a little man in the mirror moment. What did I want to do? Because you're a man of many talents as well. So I'm sure you could relate. I was acting, screenwriting once upon a time, and then I just was like, you know what? I don't think these are really for me, and dancing as well. So I found myself through beats, and
Yeah.
I've always loved Dilla, Ninth, and Madlib, and Doom as well. R.I.P.
Yeah.
So that Fatal Four, just kind of was the ultimate influence for me.
Oh, that's amazing. That's fire as fuck. I like the fact that you were able to even discern that from like your many talents and many interests of just like, you know what, this isn't necessarily my calling or what I want to do at the moment, and then you land on beats. And for producers, you name the four. You name pretty much the four of just like, hey, like you want to know some ill ass beats, here's some ill ass beats or whatever. Like you go to those four producers and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So that's cool. And just listening to the sets that I've been around and I've been able to capture, or any of your posts or anything, every time I see you post something, it's like, oh wow, shit, like you're pushing the boundary a little bit more, the envelope a little bit more. And to me, I feel like it's a matter of time where you're in the conversation with those four, and that's my genuine thing, because how we met is not necessarily the traditional way people are gonna meet each other.
Right. It's gonna be an interesting story for
Yeah.
us to cover as well.
So hearing you go from like, oh, I was dancing, screenwriting, acting, and it's just like, you know what, something about making beats and whatever kind of gave you that fulfillment, and just like, oh yeah, like this is cool, this is what I can do.
Absolutely. And first and foremost, I appreciate you for even putting me in the consideration of those Fatal Four. That's definitely a goal of mine, to even make a statement like that sonically.
Yeah.
I kind of follow a mantra now, or like a slogan, which is to inspire the uninspired before I retire.
Man.
So just to be put in that context just really, I guess, validates that statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And you deserve all that validation. I think I've said that since the day we met. I was just like, yeah, this man's cold, bro.
I appreciate it, man. And what's crazy is like I'm an underdog. Like a lot of people may not know that I've only been doing this for about 5.5 years.
Oh shit.
You
Okay.
know, like you guys have been doing this so much longer than me for what I've acquired. So that's always dope. But yeah, man. Shout out to just having a good ear and knowing what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely, and you probably have one of the best ears in the game, like hands down.
I appreciate that, Brody. Truly.
Man, okay. Well, I'm going to ask the question because you guys don't know how we met. Will you inform them or just give them the story of like kind of how like we met each other?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Uh, dope. We actually met in Grand Terrace at a beat battle. Shout out to Sincere by the name of What's Beef. That's what he threw, and it was my first beat battle ever. So I was a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
So I got all the homies, Sample and Geronimo X. Shout out to them as well.
Yes, sir.
Major influencers to me and close ones, and I just grabbed everybody as much as I could that really knew me, you know, because I didn't know, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh man, I'll pull it up to a whole new city, and I'm not necessarily the nervous type, but again, I want to make an impression.
Definitely.
And I want to do it right.
Which you did.
We're gonna get to it, man. You did as well.
Yeah.
We did our thing. So we were in this beat battle, and eventually we ended up going against each other, and that was actually a dope spark of the night. Like honestly, the best spark of the night for me personally, just because you matched my energy.
Definitely.
So shout out to you for that.
Hey, and it's kind of crazy just because like that was my first beat battle as well.
Oh wow, wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, it was my first beat battle as well. So going from like the first round, me even getting to the second round, I was just like, oh, I personally thought I was like, I'm not even gonna get past the first round. Because I was just
Your
like,
beat slap, bro. That's crazy. What?
But that's the thing though, because I just know like if I'm here, I know there's a bunch of other great talent as well.
Right.
And I tip my hat off to everybody. So I'm just like, okay. And then I saw your first battle, and I believe it was with the homie Adam Black, and I was just like, oh fuck. I was like, yo. I was like, man, this dude going crazy. Blah blah blah. I was like, all right, cool. And then I go up for my round. I'm just like, okay, I do my thing, and I was just like, oh, cool, I made it. And I was like, hey, that's all I needed. I was like, that's all I wanted to do. And then they call for the second round, and I was really hoping. I was like, if I go up against this dude, I just want to put on a great show. I know.
That's crazy that you were even thinking like that. Like I was just fortunate as well, like you. Like, oh man, dope. I'm still in this thing. You know? Like, we're still here.
And so when it finally gets to that, and like I'm playing my beats, you're playing your beats, it was cool because like you're dancing, I'm dancing.
Right.
We're just literally I forgot about everybody else in that whole entire venue. Wow, and it was just like, I was like, oh, it's just me and the homie right now. And I don't know you.
Yeah, we weren't even homies yet. That's what's crazy.
I was like, it's just me and the homie going back and forth. And I was just like, yo, this is probably one of the greatest experiences that I've ever had. And I didn't even care. Like, I heard the accolades, people telling us like, oh, your beats were this and they were great and this and that, but whatever. And you took that round. And I was just like, if anybody took me out, I'm fucking glad it was this guy.
Wow, I appreciate that, bro. Shout out to your humbleness, man. Truly.
Because I was like, bro, the versatility, like the fucking swing of your beats, the rhythms that you
staple.
Oh my goodness, I was just like,
Major staple.
yeah, no, this definitely makes sense. I'm very glad I like. It's kind of like if you ever seen like that episode of Rick and Morty when that aliens wants to like die from a great warrior.
I know what you're talking about.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool, that was OKY. Like, oh hell yeah, okay. And
I actually thought you were gonna win. Just to shout you out real quick, bro, because you knew so many of these guys. So like I was like, oh, bro's got home field advantage. Yeah. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna really make it. And oh gosh, Leotis was the first person to say something, I think, and he actually gave you that W. So shout out to bro too. So I was like, oh shit, there it is, there it is. Here we go. But I was actually surprised, man. And we got close. We got close after that. We ended up seeing each other at various shows. I ended up hearing your music, so I became a fan. You know, so it just was a dope organic experience.
Yeah.
So shout out to no egos being fully displayed in a negative way.
Yes, because and it was so funny because like there was a second beat battle in the same venue in the same city a couple months afterwards, and you weren't there, and I was bummed out because I was I was like, dang, I was like, I really wanted to see if I can we can get it again and go through.
Especially given the hype.
Yeah, not to be like, oh, I'm gonna get him this time. It was just more like I was like, he's gonna put on a great show.
I would have appreciated that attitude.
Yeah, and I was like,
it's a battle,
but yeah, it's a battle, but like it's so funny because even when I was battling the homie Big Ear Ronnie, like we're trying to murder each other,
right?
But at the same time, we're on stage, and I'm just like, I gotta hug you, bro, because
Yeah,
like
I got
you,
close with Ronnie
yeah,
there too. Like I didn't know Ronnie either. We got close that same night, so shout out to Big Air Ronnie.
yeah,
Yeah, man, that was a wild experience for me for sure. But I did not know that was your first.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So
You hit it well.
thank you, I appreciate it. Like I think both of our debuts of beat battles
Was
started
fly
was
for
super
sure, for
amazing,
sure.
just because you brought out the best in me as a competitor.
Right.
I want to put on a great show. I want to match the energy. I want to I guess like be on the same type of energy and level of just like he's dancing, I'm dancing. We were already dancing on our last one, so
Right.
might as well just go all the fuck out right now because whoever wins, it's gonna be well deserved. And
Yeah, and I didn't even own an SP404 yet
oh my
at the
goodness.
time, so I didn't even own
Yeah.
that. The homies Sample and Geronimo were the only people I knew with that,
Yeah.
and they were in the background behind the scenes telling me to get it. So I didn't have it. I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna
Man.
just bring my laptop and rock out. I guess.
I think if you had it, I think you would have definitely like blown through everybody a lot faster and quicker because like seeing you on the SP, bro, like it's wild because I think it was a Leap Fest.
Right.
You did a set and there's a clip. You have a clip of, and I'm just there in the background, just like breaking my
It was a
neck,
vibe. It was a
breaking
vibe.
my neck.
It was a
but
vibe.
it's so funny because that same night we went to the Chamber of Ciphers
Right.
event
Shout out to
over
homies.
in Riverside, and you had a surprise set there.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that at all.
And
At all.
but even that one on your surprise set, you not being prepared, I'm doing air quotations or whatever, like just on the fly. I'm still breaking my neck to like what
Yeah.
you're playing and how you're playing it, all your change ups, switch ups, stutters, and everything. I'm just like, I was like, yo, he's in his fucking zone, and it's crazy. And I guess that leads into the next question is just like your creative process. Like, do you kind of go in with an intentional plan of action, or do you try to just kind of like feel it out or
It varies, Brody. And I'm pretty sure you could relate. Sometimes you have a plan, sometimes you don't.
Okay.
It's our therapy. First and foremost, I make music primarily for me. So first for me, and then for everybody else.
Yeah.
So if I'm not rocking with it, I don't think you guys will, personally. But yeah, it definitely varies. Sometimes I have a formula to my innovative process.
Yeah.
Usually I just hop in there. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I just love that that there's no I should say it's very fluid. Like I don't feel like there's anything forced from any of the conversations we've ever had, any of the meetups, or just like seeing you perform or whatever. It's just like you're like, I'm here. You're very present in the moment. You're very mindful of just like, I'm just doing me. And it almost seems like you kind of drift off sometimes because in that clip that
I
I'm
do.
referring to, it's just like I think I'm jamming out hard as fuck, and then like as a spectator, I'll like quickly glance over, and you're damn near just vroom, vroom, vroom. I'm like, yo, I was like, this man is turned. And seeing that from a producer is amazing, just because
I appreciate that, bro.
just because like as producers we have the stigma of just like being very reserved, kind of quiet,
Definitely.
very weird kind of peoples or whatever.
Definitely.
But it's awesome to see a producer just be like, oh no, I'm enjoying my music, I'm enjoying myself, and I feel like you captivate the rest of the audience, and I just want to say like, how do you feel about like just losing yourself into the music in some of those shows? Are there certain things that you do like that you didn't even plan for, or like is it just like, oh, I'm gonna kind of go this route? Or
Honestly, bro, it just comes naturally. And I think that's because I've come to the man in the mirror realization that I'm a performer.
yeah,
And when you come to grips with that, you gotta own up to that.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what I wanted to do with my music.
Yeah.
Especially because of what you acknowledge, how the stigma is for us to be reserved.
definitely.
Unless you're a rapper and turned or something. But like for me, I kind of took the elements of dance, which was the bounce,
Yeah.
and brought that into my music. Hence why a lot of my music is upbeat as well.
Yeah.
So I brought that over there and just kind of I wanted to reflect it through myself.
Yeah.
Because you have an audience, and that's another thing too that I learned up on in Grand Terrace.
Okay.
You know, when you have an audience, you got to own up to that, and you have to respect them and put on a show for them. You know,
Absolutely.
like they're equally a part of this as well.
Yeah.
You know, so that for me is probably my motivation is being for the people and just being true to myself authentically, which is a hard thing most people I think are having a hard time doing
Yeah.
right now in this generation. So
Man, I absolutely love that. That's amazing. I just love how modest and humble you are, even though you're so freakingly like superstar talented.
I wasn't
It-
always like this, man. It's all about transitions and
Yeah.
getting to be who you really are.
Yeah.
So as much as I do appreciate that, I got to be real. You know, like we all have the ability to be who we really want to be. And me being an underdog and just seeing all of you guys, like you wouldn't even know, but I was even inspired watching you because again, I'm looking at all of you guys like, Jesus Christ, how long they been rocking? like I'm the newbie here. I'm
Yeah.
Mr. FL Studio, just chopping and looping shit. But again, it's a matter of how you do it.
Yeah,
You know, and that's what I'm presenting and what I plan to just keep on doing as long as I'm here.
definitely. And I appreciate you just being authentic and genuine with us. We are going to take our first commercial break. If we have any sponsors, you'll hear from them. But we're gonna have a couple snippets of OKY's beats, musics, anything that he sends us. We're gonna play it right now. So I am Nahshon. This is OKY.
Love, stay tuned.
Man.
He's in a very unstable condition. Why?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Friendly Neighborhood. I am your host, Nahshon. This is our amazing guest, OKY.
What up, what up, what up?
And so now we're back from our commercial break. Let's see. Programs that you use.
FL Studio and Ableton.
Oh, shit.
Literally
Okay.
that order.
Okay. He said that order. Okay. How long have you been using FL?
That was what I actually started out with first. So I'd have to say the 5.5 years.
Oh,
like I
5.5
told you.
years. And then
Ableton would definitely be like about 2.5.
how are you liking Ableton?
A lot. Sample, who I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
my bro, he introduced me to that for our first collaborative project when I met him. He just really like opened the doors to that for me and just gave me that ability to test it out. I was a little bit nervous, but it's kind of like the same ability with being on stage. You know, you
Yeah.
gotta just approach it and know how to go about it the right way.
That's fire because I actually want to hop into Ableton.
What's your primary DAW?
My primary DAW is FL Studio.
Okay.
And then I also
Gang,
use
gang.
Native Instruments Machine, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
See,
so,
I
like,
tried with Machine.
yeah.
It didn't work out for me, but I would probably need your tutoring.
Yeah.
But that's dope.
And that's the thing. Like I was just like, oh, cool. Like I have two, and then it's just never usually the same two as like another producer. But that's super dope. Because there's been a couple people that have been telling me about Ableton lately, and I was just like, oh, I want to check that
it's
out.
definitely the wave.
And your SP,
Oh yeah, Mr. 404.
Mr. 404, your SP 404. Can you just kind of talk about like that whole entire like that setup, how you got into it,
Sure.
your approach and process for just like kind of using it?
Yeah, no doubt, champ. Honestly, like I mentioned, Geronimo X and
Yeah.
Sample, you know how they influenced me. There was that, and I had to figure out what I wanted to be my sword and shield
Okay.
sonically on there. They tend to bounce around and use their wits and their innovation to implement certain sound bites and stuff.
Yeah.
So I could do that, but I wanted to stick by the stutter primarily.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure you've caught on to that just with how I rock on there.
Yeah.
The stutter has become like my sword and shield, and I just wanted to utilize it to the best of my ability and just do things that I don't see my peers do as much. You
Okay.
know, which is just be more. I don't want to necessarily use the word reliable,
Yeah.
but you know, it's a sword and shield. It's
Definitely.
like that type of analogy.
I feel like out of a lot of people that I've seen use the SP 404, like again, this is just probably like a testament to you as a innovator and a entertainer. is just like you really utilize, like, you might be just doing a stutter or whatever, but for some reason your timing for everything to come in when it's dropping out, whatever the fuck, and your switch ups on your SP44 on your live shows, I lose my fucking mind every time.
I appreciate that, squad.
And do you in my head, I was like, this guy has to practice like almost every day for like 8 to 16 hours or something like that.
Nah, not at all, bro. Honestly, I mean, I'm not gonna downplay myself and say I don't rehearse. You know that I'm not that saucy.
Yeah.
You know, I have to do that at some point, but I believe in doing it naturally a lot.
Okay.
You know, because it comes from within.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need to rehearse that much when it comes like that. And the thing about what you said just about Pocket, you know, our job, like being a beat maker, producer, like it's like here's the analogy I look at it: the cracks in the street matter to us.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like we have to fix those little nudges, whereas like a rapper or singer can kind of like maneuver around it.
Go around, step over.
So given that acknowledgement of Pocket or fixing things like that, that's why I took it upon myself to just be that on it. You know, and just make sure that the approach is as true as my demonstration.
Yeah, and like any of your live shows, guys, I'm gonna say, just look up Ohkaywhy. Honestly, just look up all of his stuff.
Love, bro.
Just check out his fucking sets. If he ever has a show and we can all get together, whatever, you'll most likely see me there. Just because it's such a treat. It's such an amazing, I would say, like, life experience for me, because it's just like, we came from like that rivals to like homies, friends, whatever, but
definitely
it's really just like, I was like, dude, I don't care, like, this dude is dope, he's amazing, he's you deliver every single time, and that's something that doesn't necessarily happen all the time, especially, again, like with producers, we tend to be like, oh, I don't feel like doing something today. We want to be like more reserved, but anytime I've seen you perform, it's just like, damn, I know what I'm going to get, and even though I know what I'm going to get, you always give me something a little bit more. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, like, you inspire me, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to fucking go into the lab and do some stuff.
Vice versa, because you're a freaking musician. Like, I'm just a guy on over here chopping samples and looping it, you know, and picking dope drums. But for me primarily, I just want to first say I appreciate that, and secondly, acknowledge the fact that we're in like a generation, bro, of creators that don't want to, I don't want to say necessarily step up to the expected plate, because you know you got to know what you signed up for. Yeah. You know, and like I said, me being an underdog, I knew I had to do it right. Like, bro, there's thousands and millions of freaking beat makers, rappers, singers. Like, it's about standing out.
Definitely.
You know? Like, vice versa for you. Like, we're very fortunate to be of those stripes. You know, like, and I guess that awareness is part of the reason too why you may not even know, but people like you guys in the crowd do influence me and make sure that I'm on Pocket and make sure I'm doing it the right way.
Man,
you know, so it's kind of like a mutual frequency thing.
Yeah, and I even appreciate you even saying that, because you seem very in tune with the audience and just the vibe that you set.
It's everything,
and we bring back, and like it's an evil what is like the first rule of alchemy, the even exchange kind of thing.
Right.
And
nicely put, for real.
And you definitely do that for us. So I just want to commend you on that. I hope you have many more shows, and you have so much more success in that aspect. I'm going to switch it over to some random kind of questions just to get to know you a little bit more, a little bit better. Oh my goodness. So I usually ask questions of long comics and stuff like that. So I'm interested. Do you have like a favorite superhero, like favorite comic book superhero or anything like that?
Marvel or DC?
You pick.
Oh, shit.
Actually, I'm gonna ask you the question now.
Yeah,
Marvel or DC?
Marvel. It's kind of hard because it's so many dope ones. I'll start with DC first because that's easy.
Okay,
that's
there
easy.
you go.
Batman is who I gravitated first towards. Before I realized white privilege was a superpower. Yeah. So I definitely gravitated to him first. But it was just the whole aspect of what the brain could do. And when you read all of those Batman comics, you really see Bruce Wayne's determination and just what he's really about. So I'm a huge nerd for character development, which
Yeah.
you'll soon find out, depending on where we go with these questions.
Definitely.
As for Marvel, Black Panther, Spider-Man, I
Yeah.
love X-Men. I love all of those type of things. I recently got into Marvel Zombies again, and I just realized how dope that was. Just coming back to it as an adult, so that was pretty lit.
Man. Okay. So seeing that you're pretty knowledgeable of all comic book stuff going on, I'm assuming you've already seen like all of the MCU, right?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, obviously. Duh.
Nah, you good. You good.
Yeah. Are you excited for the possibility of like the multiverse kind of thing with like how they're gonna introduce that with Doctor Strange, in the sense of like we could see the Marvel zombies, even if it's very for a brief
Definitely,
pick,
definitely.
yeah, brief.
Is the Doctor Strange movie coming out before Spider-Man?
I think it is.
Because
I think it is.
that would make sense.
Yeah, because I think it's Doctor Strange the Madness multiverse,
Right.
and then Spider-Man.
That would
3
make sense
comes
with
out.
the other guys, the
Yeah,
other Spider-Man coming
yeah.
in with the whole hype and everything, which
Yeah.
I'm excited for. That's gonna be nuts.
Man,
That's gonna be nuts.
I'm ready to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield definitely reprise their roles and just interact with who I consider just the balanced embodiment of Spider-Man, of just like the
Yeah, he's the quintessential version
and
for
it's,
sure.
and it's solid. And like I know people like be like, oh no, because Tobey Maguire and blah blah blah, but Andrew Garfield. And I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. Like
I know.
at least Tom Holland took the best of both of what we got with both of them.
Definitely.
Applied it, and we got. I think it's still to me, it's one of the best representations of Spider-Man.
For sure.
But if they all would get into a little scuffle or something, who do you think would probably take it out of the three
those
Spider-Mans?
three. Ooh, that's a great question. Probably Toby.
Really?
Here's why.
Okay.
I say probably Toby because Toby's the only one that got introduced to the symbiote. So that sauce awareness kind of might put him at an edge if you know the comics a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
yeah, okay.
That kind of has a little bit of an advantage.
You said I'm about to put the hurt on these
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
I think I'm not necessarily saying the symbiote will come out, but
Yeah.
you know Peter's a bit like any superhero. They
Yeah.
adapt. You
Yeah.
know they adapt, and
Definitely.
Peter definitely adapted with that. So I would assume Toby's gonna rock out with that, but
Yeah, 'cause-
everybody's gonna be throwing hands definitely.
Because low key, like Tom Holland be getting smacked sometimes. Like his Spider-Man be
Yeah,
getting smacked a lot.
for sure. But I also think that's primarily because he's the youngest
one.
one,
Yeah.
you know. But that's also what makes him so dope is anyone that knows Spider-Man knows that he was a kid in the beginning. So
Yeah, and have you played the Spider-Man games for like the PS4 and PS5?
No, I have not.
Oh,
I want
man.
to. I want to. The thing too about me and video games, I used to be really, really into fighting games.
Okay.
Like I played it a lot, Street Fighter, Tekken.
Okay.
You know, even Bloody Roar and a lot of other stuff.
Oh, damn.
So I was into that like for years of my life, but
Yeah.
then we started making music. And that became
yeah,
a video game,
music
yeah.
definitely takes over a lot.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
I was
that's kind of
big.
my new shit now.
Yeah.
But I'm always down. I'm
Okay,
always down
for
for
sure.
sure. I want to. I heard 5 is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, not 5. The one with Miles Morales, right?
Yeah, it's the one for PS5.
Yeah.
I think they have it for the PS4, but I have yet to play the Miles Morales one yet. Just
How was
because
4?
the PS4 is like solid. Like the Spider-Man for the PS4 is
Yeah.
like cool.
Okay.
But I want to play the Miles Morales one on the PS5 because it was made for it.
Right.
But
The full
it's
experience.
it's very difficult to get a PS5 at the moment.
Yeah, that it is. That it is.
and it's a pretty penny. But at the same time, like I think it'll be worth it once I actually get to like experience the whole entire thing on like a nice TV.
I agree.
Kind of get immersed into like the world or whatever. Because that's kind of how I got it adapted into the first Spider-Man game that they did for the PS4. I was like, oh wow, like this is great. I had my headset in and everything,
That's
looked all
what's up,
nice,
that's
and I was
what's
like,
up.
oh shit, okay, cool.
That's what's up. Shit, the last Spider-Man game I really got into was like old as hell, bro. Like Spider-Man 2 when it was
Really?
like,
on the
free world.
PS2?
Yeah, when it was
Oh
like
my
free
goodness.
world like that.
That was
yeah.
like for the
you could just pull up
yeah.
and beat up all people just for the fuck of it.
and that was like the magnum opus of Spider-Man games for the longest time.
Definitely.
Because
like Hulk Ultimate Destruction, they should
my
reboot
God.
that. I don't know what is going on with that.
You are literally the only other person that ever
Really?
fucking brings up that game.
Bro, that game is lit.
Bro.
That game was lit.
Okay, so in middle school when I was playing the game, I was so hurt because I got all the way to the end and I had to fight Abomination at the end.
Yeah.
As the young 12-year-old, I couldn't beat it, so I just dropped the game.
Right.
I came back to it 4 years later, like when I was a freshman in high school.
4 years later.
And I beat it the first try, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm like, as a kid, I was like, oh,
that game
dude,
was the shit, man.
man,
You had
like
all the skins.
breaks off the fucking cars into like the
Yup.
fucking gloves and everything. Oh my
It was
god,
everything you wanted in the whole game.
Yeah, you're a goat for even
That shit was
mentioning
lit. That shit was
the Hulk shit. But that's super tight. I like your choices in superheroes and everything. But like you said, like there is a lot of character development. I think that says a lot about yourself as a person, just because it seems like you've gone through that metamorphosis and that changing and growing as a
Definitely.
person. So
Definitely.
that that's kind of awesome. If there's seeing that the person that you are right now, what would you kind of give that say you had that time traveling ability or whatever for the quick second, for the flashpoint paradox or whatever, what kind of advice would you give a younger you, a younger producer, entertainer, or whatever?
Don't be as hard-headed and don't follow your homies as much.
Oh, okay, really?
I would definitely say that because I was somebody that had to learn the hard way. You can't put all of your friends and loved ones before you.
Okay.
You know, so I had to learn you have to love yourself first.
Yeah.
And I'm just fortunate at 30 years old, without like anything super detrimental,
Yeah.
you know, to have gotten that lesson. But I would definitely tell myself that, and just to stay focused on your focus.
Definitely.
For sure.
I appreciate that. And also, I feel like you're lying to me. I don't even think that you're 30, dog.
I'm dead ass.
Bro, I was just like, nah, this man's not 30. There's
Dead
no
ass.
way. There's no way in hell.
Like, just doesn't crack.
Yeah,
I'm
it
dead
doesn't.
ass.
It doesn't. But that's super dope. And I appreciate you as somebody that just turned 26. I always
Happy
look.
late birthday. fool.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I always look to my elder homies for that type of guidance and stuff. Anyways,
Right.
when I was like freshly coming to be Nahshon or whatever, I met Curtis King from just watching his videos and stuff like that, commenting and whatever.
Right.
And when I finally did get to meet him in person at one of his seminars, and he actually, I think before the seminar, he met me. I met him at my job.
Oh wow, that's
and
dope.
I took my break immediately just to talk to him for like
You're
the
probably
10 minutes.
indirectly manifesting.
Yeah,
you didn't even know.
and because in the back of my head,
Crazy.
I was just always like, man, like if I just meet him, I just know like he'll give me like that one piece of advice that I
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
And
He's definitely that guy.
and in that 10-minute mark, and I think this is the best thing that he's ever said to me. He was just like, you're doing everything right. He's like, you just have to stay focused and committed to it and see it through. He's like, follow one course until success. And he's like, that's focus. And I was like, is that an acronym? I was like, oh
I literally
my
just put that
gosh.
in one of my beats,
Yeah.
from one of his beat packs.
Yeah,
So
and I was
that's
just
kinda
like,
crazy.
I was like, what the heck? And he told me this, and this is my 10-minute break, and I'm mind boggled by what he
Right.
said. And he's like, by the time you're my age, he's like, if you've done everything that you need to do, you stay focused, and you don't deviate from everything, you'll be in a better position than I am. And I'm thinking in my head, I was like, bro, you're
potent.
in my head, I was like, dude, you're kind of more or less a millionaire. I was like, I'm gonna be in a better position than you are. He's like at your age, I wasn't doing or thinking how you're thinking.
That's what I'm saying.
And I was
Yeah,
just like,
it's
oh
true.
shit. So you saying the same thing is like literally 3 years later, another confirmation to me. And if anybody else is listening or watching, it's just like, I have to say, take that advice, because it definitely changed my life, and it probably saved my sanity of just not
Right.
wanting to follow the trends and do this. It's just like, I know what I need to do for myself.
That's powerful.
And just thank you so much for even imparting that type of wisdom for a younger producer, engineer, whoever, even just somebody
Right.
that's just watching. That's something, because I don't think we have enough of like anybody in, I guess, our age bracket kind of with that mindset now, or even willing to be like, oh hey, I had to learn this. Usually
Right.
people are just like, oh, I already knew
It's
this.
like I
or
told you,
whatever.
Brody. Unfortunately, and I could vouch for this because I was one of those dudes. Like, we lack authenticity.
Yeah.
We tend to follow our friends
Okay.
and think that they have it all figured out. But the ones that do have it figured out are fortunate enough to let you be yourself.
Yeah.
Authentically at that, you know, which is huge, because that's like the ultimate like intimacy,
Yeah.
you know, to allow somebody to just really be themselves
Definitely.
and accept it for who they are. So like, that's those type of friends are like even you and me, like our organic approach is like of that same story. Not everybody is like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My friends prior, no shade to them, but I was like kind of being used by them. You know,
Yeah.
and I had to learn up on that.
Man.
You know, so it's just a matter of experience. So Curtis King is absolutely right in what he said, for sure.
And I appreciate both of you guys. Right then and there, we're gonna take another commercial break. We're gonna play some of OKY's beats and everything, and then we'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned.
Bye, bye, bye.
You better stop that shit. You better stop that shit. Baby, I protect you. But you make it hot. But you make it hot. But you make it hot. You better stop that. You better stop that shit. Cause I can't lay up all day in this bed with you. Secure the bag, bring it back, but you won't let me work. That thing's like a chain on me. You love.
You know when you knew something was gonna be good, but you didn't know it was gonna be
Yeah,
that
I was just like, okay.
All right, we're back in 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back to your Friendly Neighborhood podcast. I'm your host, Nahshon, and this is our amazing guest, Ohkaywhy.
You burnt that.
All right, so this is usually like after our second intermission or whatever. We kind of try to wrap it up, but I'm having such a good conversation with you.
I'm here with you.
It's like I don't even care if this is like 2-3 hours long, but I'm gonna try to limit ourselves. I know you're a busy man.
Right.
You got things to do.
You good? You good?
But do you watch anime?
Of course.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite animes?
Huge Dragon Ball fan. You can ask me any question.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, huge.
Who's
That's
your
what got me in
favorite?
there.
Who's your favorite character of Dragon Ball Z?
Vegeta.
Vegeta.
For sure.
Why?
Pride. Because that's how I used to be in the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how I
that
used to be.
character development.
Yeah, and like I told you, it's kind of like with anything that I gravitated towards as far as like comics,
Yeah.
animation, or anything like that. If there's no relatable factor,
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna be sunk in.
Okay.
You know, so with Vegeta, I was like, and the funny thing about me is like I've always been like that. I've always been like the Plan B guy. Like it's always
Yeah.
been like Vegeta, Knuckles, Ken from Street Fighter. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, I like the
I've
second
always
guy.
liked those guys.
Yeah.
It's always been like that. No shade to the other ones. I love them too,
Yeah.
but those are like favorites. For
Okay.
sure. For
Definitely. Favorite. Okay. Well, I usually don't classify Vegeta as a villain, even though he started off as a
sure.
villain.
Right. Like an
Outs-
entire.
yeah. Outside of Vegeta, favorite villain in Dragon Ball.
Frieza.
Frieza.
I would have to say
Okay.
Frieza.
That's probably one of the best arcs.
For sure. I like Cell a lot
Mhm.
because I appreciate the intellect,
Yeah.
but Frieza's after the comeback, like you gotta show bro respect.
Yeah.
Like I'm just saying, like go and the fact that he
Yeah.
like smacked Goku, he
Yeah.
smacked Goku in that fade. So
It's tough.
it's just something you gotta respect. And I think what really got me into Frieza more was in Super, how he came back for the Tournament of Power. Like
Okay.
you're stuck in a fucking cocoon.
Yeah.
Right? You're stuck in a cocoon. You can't train. You know Dragon Ball logic.
Yeah.
You gotta train, bro. Like it's like go to the gym. You know what you gotta do.
They be training all the time.
Yeah, literally they have to. It's like a stamp of being in the freaking show. You
Yeah.
gotta do it. Why you think Yamcha got freaking
Man.
messed up? Like no shade to bro, but it's the same thing. Like everybody kept at it. And Frieza, to just do that with your mind and be
Yeah.
that obsessed with killing somebody, I was like, that's
Damn.
a different kind
Yeah.
of ability.
That's
like,
that's some
deep.
crazy mental power
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I thought Tien's like fucking beam was like some
tri-beam,
yeah,
yeah.
tri-beam was some good mental power, but
Right?
definitely Frieza was just like, yeah, I'm not fucking around right now.
Bro, like in a cocoon to get to that level, it's respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
Man, that's so tight. Okay, what? So, Dragon Ball Z. What would be another? And do you like? Have you ever watched Yu Yu Hakusho?
Definitely. I'm actually surprised you asked that. I'm used to like the standard like 4 of Naruto or then like Hunter x Hunter and
Yeah.
then Baby Bleach. You
Yeah.
know, like, you know,
Yeah,
to really fly. But
It's-
hey, Yu Yu
yeah.
Hakusho,
Yeah.
definitely. That's like I feel like you gonna ask about Inuyasha next. What's
Bro,
up?
I was literally
What's
about
up?
to, yeah,
What's up? What's
because
up?
those are actually 2 of my favorite animes. Yu Yu Hakusho is probably one of my favorite.
Oh
animes.
wow.
And I know it's like probably one of the older animes that a lot of people don't necessarily really watch, but I should say that are part of the new wave of like anime watchers.
Definitely.
But I definitely recommend it just because it's kind of, again, like that character development. Yusuke is just like one of the knucklehead kids.
For sure, and the fact that he died, like just the whole storyline.
Oh, bro, off
behind
the
it,
first episode,
I was like, "What kind of learning is this?" Like,
I was like, "Okay, then." I mean, I guess.
Right.
And but like I would like to think that you and I both can see a little bit of our younger selves in these certain characters of Yusuke or people of Vegeta or whatever, or Goku and stuff. It's just like that trial of just like, I see this obstacle in front of me and you're trying to overcome it.
Oh, for sure.
And
for sure.
I
It's
feel
kind of
like,
crazy that you have that depth to see that, because I don't hear that a lot, so I could just appreciate it. So shout out to you for that. 'Cause that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
So you're right.
And like you can see it, like guys, you can't see it, but we can see. Like my room has like a couple Naruto posters up. And
Yeah, bro,
like
setup
that.
is crazy. I wasn't ready.
But like that's the same thing like with Naruto and obviously some of the other like well-known Shonen Jump animes. It's just like I pull like certain life lessons, especially as like a young preteen and teenager while I was watching these growing up. I was like, I pulled a lot of my like, I guess like morality from some of these shows. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna always be there for my friends because that's what friends do.
Dude, the Toonami era was everything to us. Like that was
saved me.
That was everything to us. Do you remember what was it called?
Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah, Rurouni Kenshin, and what was another one? The one with the ninjas. There was like 3 of them.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Shit.
It was like a green, blue, and red one.
Fuck.
That came on Toonami too. That's throwback.
What is that?
I don't remember the name of the show, but that was lit too.
If you guys remember the name of that show, it was on Toonami. Link us,
ASAP.
please put it in the comments below.
Sure.
Man, damn, I'm really upset that I don't even know what.
I knew it, but I can't think of it right now. That show was dope too.
Did you ever watch Cowboy Bebop?
For sure.
Okay,
for sure.
I just got Cowboy Bebop finally like in my catalog.
Yeah, definitely.
So I own that.
Good choice. Good choice.
Death Note.
Yes.
Okay.
I like
perfect.
Death Note for sure.
Okay,
Obviously, Attack on Titan.
Man,
I haven't even seen the last episodes yet. Know that?
No. Me either. So we're on the same page
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
So that's so cool. I usually just ask these questions just to get a better feel for people,
right?
And so other people can get a better feel for you or whatever. Are you a sports guy at all or anything like that?
I used to play basketball in the beginning, but
okay.
dancing became my thing.
Yeah.
You know? So I just kind of transitioned into that.
Okay, cool. But still physically active and everything.
Definitely.
Cool. That's solid. That's awesome.
Yeah, about like a year. Crazy.
That's what's up. Seeing that a bunch of stuff is going on right now with the stock market.
Yeah, it's wild.
How do you
wild update today, guys?
Yeah, how do you feel about all that stuff? Like, what is Ohkaywhy's perspective on like everything that's happening at the moment?
I don't know if this is gonna be appropriate, but let me be real because that's what we're all about.
Go for it.
Personally, I think it's crazy, while at the same time expected.
Yeah.
If you've really been doing your research.
Yeah.
You know, like it's kind of the game. We've been getting sauced,
yeah.
Unfortunately. How I get through with it for my mental is kind of the same formula for just delivering my music to my audience and for myself, just focusing on myself, you know, sticking to the development, following one course until success, you know, just like Curtis said, like legitimately just staying on that course, you know, no matter how much I may get derailed or how much shit I face in the way, I got to just know how to maneuver around it. So I accumulate the information, I take it for what it is, but as of recently, I came into the new year and just have come to grips that a lot of shit is just meant to keep us in a low vibration.
Yeah.
It's really just a distraction, like
definitely.
Every damn time. So I'd rather get distracted with people I love, things I love, you know, and shit, if there's an asteroid coming down, then I would just then, you know, like I'd rather think like that. Maybe it's too optimistic, but when you're an overthinker, I think that's the healthiest choice.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Man, again, so see, dropping gems. I like how it hasn't affected you mentally or anything like that, but I like your take of just like, hey, if I'm going to be distracted, I might as well be distracted with the people I love, with things that I love, things that bring me into a higher frequency and stuff like that.
Right.
And I hope a lot more people kind of gravitate towards that. And I think you're gonna help a lot of people just by saying that. And the podcast is gonna be heard by certain people, like just that right person, even if it's just one person. It's just like, Ohkaywhy said, hey.
That's what we're about, even with
Yeah.
music, Brody. Like we have that same staple. I just had to realize what my impact was, what
Yeah.
my calling was for getting woken up every day.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that I'm still here, I'd like to impact people anyway. You know, even outside of just music. You know,
Yeah.
I'm an entertainer. Yeah, I love what I do. Yeah, we could vibe out. I'm all for the sounds. I'm all for hip hop. But how's your mental health? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, are you happy?
Definitely.
You know, like, are you good?
Man.
You know, like all of those things are very important because us as innovators, we tend to put a mask on even in the creative process.
Yeah.
You know, so I am just adjusting with that realization still. I don't
Yeah.
want to say I've conquered it, but when you learn up on that, it's about maneuvering, and that's just what I'm on right now.
That's beautiful. I appreciate you for sharing that. Guys, we're going to take one last break, and then we're going to just wrap everything up. I am Nahshon. This is OKY, and we'll be back. All right, and we're back in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, guys, to your friendly neighborhood podcast. I'm your host, Nahshon. This is our amazing guest, Ohkaywhy.
Squad.
I just want to say thank you for your time.
Hey man, thank you for having me, bro.
Man.
You've been an amazing host.
Man,
Truly, best
you're-
one I've had.
You're probably one of the greatest guests that we've had so far. Thank you for your time, patience, energy, the wisdom, the gems.
Hey, great
the,
questions.
The beats that are playing in the middle of all of this.
Let
and
us know if
everything.
we should definitely talk more together. I think we did a good job.
Honestly,
Personally.
I think we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna just have to create another podcast, whole segment or whatever, and just continue to do what we're doing right
yeah,
here.
that'd be dope. That'd be dope for sure.
Because
just bounce ideas off for sure.
Absolutely, because you're definitely one of the many few people that I can sit here and talk to for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Love, King. Appreciate
and
that.
so thank you
Thank you for having me, bro. Truly. Shout out to Neighborhood.
Man.
Hey, man. Y'all keep tuning in. Truly.
And so I'm going to ask you to please push and plug us into your social medias,
Of course.
your musics, and anything that you need to promote. Go for it.
Of course. You guys could follow me on Instagram at __KYBWOY, KYY. You know, a little Central American guy. So there's that. Twitter, KAYWHYBWOY. YouTube, OKY Beats. Please tune in. I'll always be updating that recently. Just added some new beats and stuff up on there too. Some
Yes,
cool
sir.
visuals for you guys. So I hope you'll definitely enjoy that. Yeah, man. That's pretty much it for now that comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know, you guys could find me on Spotify, Bandcamp, all platforms, OKY. Not hard. OHKAYWHY.
There it is. There it is.
Love.
Man, I appreciate you so much, guys. Thank you for everyone that's watching. Thank you for everybody that's listening. Thank you to any of our sponsors that we have or don't have right now. Whatever.
Slap
whatever.
Bros new EP. It's crazy.
Hey, man, thanks for the shout
Love.
out.
Love.
I'm not even plugging myself, but I got
I
the
had
homie.
to. I had to. I actually slapped it on the way over
Man.
here, and I had to commend bro because I was really surprised just because of the fact of like the transition that Nahshon could do. I wasn't necessarily used to that, so I just had to commend him for that because it's just little avenues like that that I'm barely transitioning into.
I
You know?
appreciate you, and
Love.
I can't wait to hear what you come with, and it's gonna be amazing. So, guys, this is I am Nahshon. This is OKY. This is the Friendly Neighborhood. Remember, stay safe, stay friendly,
Wear your mask.
wear your mask.
Love.
Peace, guys. Peace.